Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. This is Jackie, in case this is your first time tuning in and listening. Today I want to share with you something that's really heavy on my heart, and it's probably one of the most important videos that I will do. This video is about you. It's about you. It's about me. It's about thinking of ourselves and putting that mask on, like when you're on the airplane, they tell you to put the mask on you first so then you can help other people. So that's really what this is about. And I have learned through life and through experiences that it's very important for me to take care of me mentally, physically, and emotionally, as well as spiritually. And so I'm gonna talk about these three things, and this is really key in the strategy that I use for myself in self-care. It's your spiritual health, your mental health, and your physical health. So if you're a mother, if you're a wife, if you are an employee, somebody is expecting something from you. You're giving of your time, of your energy, of your space. You're giving. And not often are you getting back. So, how are you taking care of yourself? How are you taking care of your mental health? How are you pouring back into yourself? What things are you doing to ensure that you're filling yourself back up? So the first thing that I do, or that's really important, is to focus on my spiritual health. And that's with the beginning of your day. Starting off thinking about God. It's as simple as that. Three most important scriptures that go with this strategy that I'm talking about, I will share with you. The first one is Psalms 28. The Lord is my strength and my shield. I trust him with all my heart. He helps me and my heart is filled with joy. I burst out in songs of thanksgiving. The Lord is our joy. He's our strength. And if we don't think about him and plug into him daily, then we're not getting recharged. It's like your phone. We were created to be almost like a phone. Your phone can function and provide all the necessary resources you need. It allows you to get on social media, have conversations with people. It connects you to this world, and it runs perfectly fine until the battery goes out. When the battery goes out, you have to plug it back in and you have to charge it in order for it to continue to work for you. And that's how we are created. God created us so that we can function independently, that we can think on our own, that we can make decisions and choices on our own. But in order for us to make it through continuously, we have to plug back in to him. We have to connect to him. And if we're not connected to him, we're going to run out. We can't keep up. We can't do it on our own without him. So the first thing is to start your day off thinking about God. It says those who keep their minds stayed on him, he will keep them in perfect peace. So the key thing is you have to keep your mind stayed on him. If you don't keep your mind stayed on him, then where's your peace? And if you're looking for your peace and you're wondering where it is, it's because your mind isn't stayed on him. So that's the first thing, to acknowledge and understand what depletes you from your energy and then how to get it back. You have to connect to the Father by way of communication, by way of thinking on him, acknowledging him, and inviting him into our day. You have to start that off. And one of the videos that I put out before, it talks about the Our Father prayer. And that's how we should start our day, every day. I mean, add to the prayer, but minimally, We should be talking, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Provide for us what we need today. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. And with that, you've acknowledged God. You've connected. You've asked him to provide everything that you need for that day. You're saying, Lord, bless this day. I can't do it without you. I need your help. I need your strength. And then those minds who are stayed on him, he will keep in perfect peace. So if you're going through trials, you're going through struggles, which we will endure those things, and you don't have peace, and you're wondering why you're frustrated all the time, you're wondering why your thinking is stinking, or you're thinking negatively, it's because you're not connected. It's because you're not keeping your mind stayed on him. And so I don't want to have this misconception that we can't live our lives and that we can't go through life, but daily, throughout the day, you should be thinking of God in some capacity, acknowledging him in the morning, and meditating on him when you can, listening to spiritual worship music. That's how I like to start my day. And then I love all types of music, so I listen to music throughout the day. So I'm not saying that you have to be this person that's all you're doing, but it has to be in there. If you want to live a life of purpose, if you want to live a life that's balanced, it has to start off that way. It just does. If you think back, and I think back on all the times that I've had a frustrating day and things just started off bad and then just continue to spiral and get worse, it was because I did not start my day off acknowledging God. I didn't plug in. I didn't connect. It's just like your cell phone. If you don't charge it, it's not going to be beneficial to you at all. You got to charge that phone up. It is completely dependent on its battery life. And we are dependent on our battery life. And the way we recharge is that way, connecting to our Father. So the scriptures that go with what I'm talking about and the things that I meditate on are Psalms 28:7. In the King James Version says, "The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusted in him. I am helped. Therefore my heart greatly rejoiceth. And with my song will I praise him." And then Nehemiah 8:10, it says, "Then he says, go into them, go your way, eat the fat." So God actually instructs us to eat fat. Fat is good. "And drink the sweet. Send portions into them for whom nothing is prepared. For this day is holy unto our God. Neither be ye sorry, for the joy of the Lord is your strength." Our strength comes from God, and joy comes from God also. So Nehemiah, Psalms 28:7, and then Isaiah 26:3 says, "Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on him." So if you don't have peace, if you're frustrated, again, your mind's not on him. It has to stay on him. These are the three things that are very key to your spiritual health. And you can do these other things that I talk about, but without that component, which is probably the most important component, you can get through, but you're going to be going on half empty. You can try and manage, but you're going to break. I found that out the hard way, personally. So the second thing that I want to talk about is your mental health. How are you strategically ensuring that your mental health is okay? I mean, we all go through emotional times. We go through losses. We go through relationship issues. we go through, if you have children, raising your children and struggling with the idea that you're not being the best parent that you can possibly be, So we all go through those things that just drain us mentally, and trying to be successful and trying to work and retain your job and be a good employee, and so many things that we have the weight of the world on our shoulders, and we're burdened with a lot of these things. And it's important for us to really think about our mental health. One of the things I've done this year is I made a list of all of my traumas, all the things that I've experienced, and it helped me to realize that I am a survivor. We are survivors. If you've gone through anything, if you've lived through anything in this life, in fact, if you're 30 plus years of age, you have gone through some things. And if you haven't, keep living. Make a mental note of the things that you have gone through, because I did this. I actually started writing down some of the things going all the way back from childhood. I remember I was just a baby, just barely able to stand. And I'm originally from Gary, Indiana, and a bullet came in through the window and lodged in the chair that I was standing next to. My mother tells me this story. The bullet came in. She has this afro during this time, and it whisked past her afro, and then they found it lodged in the chair that I was next to. So I'm here for a reason. There were many things, and I can go on and on about the things that's tried to take me out of here, but I'm still here. And because God has a purpose for me, and you're still here because he has a purpose designed for you. He still has something for you to do. If you're still living and breathing, there is something that he wants you to do. So, mental health, write it down. Think about those things that you have survived. The divorce, the trauma, the separation, the molestation, the rape, the mental, emotional breakdown that you may have had, the loss that you've experienced. You survived. And it's so important to recognize that we have survived and that we've overcome so many things so that we can have the David mindset. David was able to stand before Goliath without any fear, worry, or doubt because he remembered what God brought him through already. He remembered, he thought, well, everybody else was like running and scared, and all these other Christians that were around, like they should have all gathered together and then just kicked his butt, but they didn't. They got scared. And David's looking like, where y'all going? What are they afraid of? I'll take them. He's just a man. He's a big man, but he's just a man. God helped me to destroy the bear, the lion, and all these other things. He's going to help me destroy him. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, without effort, he was able to take Goliath out, and he told him what he was going to do with him. Not only did he take him out, he told him before. He basically said, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to chop your head off, and then I'm going to... And he did it all. But it's because he remembered. He remembered. He reflected. Sometimes we got to go back in order to take a few steps forward. So write down those traumas and think about from the beginning the things that you've gone through and experienced, and think about the things that God has brought you through. And you can remember that you can continue to go through things going forward with his help. You are not alone. You've gotten through worse things before. So remember that. That's important. That's key. If we're going to do this thing called life, then we may as well do it. Do the thing. If you're going to do the thing, do the thing. If we're going to live this life, then we may as well live it to the best of our abilities. We may as well try to live a balanced life and live in a way of purpose, and live your life in a way that benefits you and others as well. Another great way is just as you ought to list the traumas, also list the things that bring you joy. So if you haven't thought about this, individually, I'm talking about things that bring you joy that doesn't require someone else's help or assistance. So I wrote down a few things that bring me joy, make me happy. It could be simple things. Just think about it. Think about the things that make you happy, okay? Because you can't expect anyone else to make you happy if you don't even know what makes you happy. How can you tell somebody, you know, I really like it when you do this, or I really like this, if you don't even know, you haven't even thought on those things. So the first part of understanding or helping yourself mentally is to understand the things that make you happy, of things that bring you joy. And for me, it's just taking a trip to Starbucks. I like Starbucks. I enjoy flowers. I love orchids. I love peonies. I love gladiolas. I go to Trader Joe's weekly and I buy flowers. I love flowers. They just bring me joy. I don't wait for my husband to go and get them for me. I go and get them for myself. He loves to bring me flowers too, but I don't wait for him to do it. If I want flowers, if I wake up thinking about flowers, I'm going to the store and I'm getting me some flowers. So I enjoy that. It brings me joy. It brings me a sense of, I love the colors. I take time and I just enjoy those things. Music. I love music. Music sets my tone for me. And so I listen to worship music. I try to listen to worship music in the beginning of my day. I start off my day with worship. And gardening. I actually started that hobby since this pandemic, and I enjoy it. I enjoy watching the, bell peppers and the okra come to life. I encourage you, if you even live in a small apartment, there are things that you can buy, that you can start a little garden, maybe out on your patio. Find a hobby, do things that bring you pride and bring you joy. Okay. Perfume makes me happy. I told you guys that before. I love perfumes, different perfumes, which I have a couple more that I've purchased, and I'm going to be sharing those in my future videos with you. Watch a comedy, romantic comedies, something that'll make you laugh, videos, YouTubes that make you laugh. It's important to, again, you're pouring back into yourself. Get a massage. Getting a pedicure or a manicure, I love doing things like that. Doing myself a facial. I invested in this little steam treatment thing that just blasts my skin, and I do my little facials, and I enjoy doing that. Putting these headphones on. Invest in you some headphones, especially if you live with people. If you have a family, you have kids running around, you have, at one point, my oldest son and his wife and my grandbaby, they were all here. Noise cancellation, you can't hear anything. I put on my Joel Osteen. I listen to a full message in its entirety, and I'm good. I get back to a place that allows me to be good, in a good place. And you know when that is. You personally know when you've had enough, and you got to get to a place of pouring back into yourself. I love going in Home Goods. I love going in Hobby Lobby. I don't necessarily have to purchase anything. I just go in there and I look and I think about, okay, I'm going to do this. All right, I'm going to come back and get that. And online shopping the same way. I don't always purchase it. I put it in my cart. I got a lot of stuff in my cart because it's just thinking of things that I need, or, things that inspire me. So I encourage you to do the same. These are just some things that work for me. You add to this list. You make your own list, and whatever works for you and whatever makes you happy, just think about what brings you a smile. And then write those things down and try to do more of that. Okay? Try to do more of the things that make you happy. Taking a car ride. If you're stressed out and things are going on and some things you just can't, get away from, get in your car and drive. Listen to some music while you're driving. If you don't have a car, if you can't drive, get on your bike. There was a time that I was going through some tough times, and I got on my bike and I rode, and I'm like, these people probably think I'm crazy. I rode that bike, and I'm telling you, I was riding so fast and pedaling so fast just to get some of that anxiety out. And that people, I was like, oh God, they're gonna think I'm a crazy lady. And I had legs like Arnold Schwarzenegger when I was done. But it really, I felt like I can come back, okay, and then I'm at a place where I can function without losing it. You know what I'm saying? You got to get to that place. You got to do things that help you to get to a calmer peace of mind. If you're doing things that are contrary to what I'm telling you today, then you're going to get those results. If you're putting negativity into yourself, then you're going to have frustrations, depression, anger. You're going to have all those things. If you're watching horror movies, stop. Just as plain and simple as that. There is nothing beneficial about a horror movie. You are not going to get fed that way. I mean, and then if you watch a horror movie and then you're wondering why you're having nightmares or why you're angry or why you're feeling frustrated, come on, people. This right here. This is self-explanatory. If you find yourself on the phone with someone who's negative, just negative, for no reason, just negative, end that call. Get rid of toxic people in your lives. Drop the load, clean the slate. You got to know how to do it. And sometimes if it's family members, obviously you can't drop it, but you can distance yourself in order for you to get to that place of health, and clarity. Just distance yourself for a little bit, and then set your boundaries. Let them know that you won't allow certain things. But there are ways to function in dysfunction also. Not all of us are able to have, quiet, simple lives. Sometimes there are dysfunctions that happen that are out of your control, especially if you live with people. And human error is inevitable. People will fail you. They will disappoint you. They'll let you down. It happens. Your spouses will. They're not perfect. None of us are perfect. So you will go through things in life, but try to limit the amount of negativity that comes your way. Protect yourself. Protect your mental capacity. If you know that you are just like, shut it down. So those are the key things when it comes to mental health. Learn how to enjoy yourself and do more of that. Do more of that thing that brings you joy. Learn to do that physically, and literally you have to go into the things that bring you joy. Your physical health is the third thing that is so important, because you can have those two things in place, your mental and your spiritual, and then your body is all out of whack. I found out a year ago that my hormones were completely off. I was an emotional mess. I was crying. I didn't know what was going on with me. And my husband was like, Jay, what's wrong? I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't have a clue. I will encourage any woman, especially, even men over time, when you age, you just start losing things. Things just start, your metabolism goes down, your elasticity goes down, everything goes down. It just starts going down, and you just start, where is it going? I don't know, but it goes somewhere. It's not in your body. So figure out what is going on with you, okay? Even if you think that you're totally fine, I encourage every woman, especially over 30 years of age, to find a hormonal doctor. There is a doctor in your area, and you got to research it, that focuses on hormones. So you got to look into the blood, find out what's going on. And through the blood, you can find everything out. So I go literally every 3 months, and I get my blood work done, just a panel. And my doctor orders my vitamin D. He finds out if I'm low in D, if I'm low in B, if I'm low in my testosterone, where my thyroid levels are. All of those things are really important. And then he finally, after realizing that everything was super low, I had like 0 testosterone, and that's why my body was just out of whack and I was gaining weight and I didn't know why. I'm like, I'm eating healthy. Why can't I lose the weight? Why I was emotional, I was crying and I didn't know why, all of those things resulted in my body lacking the things that it needed. So I would encourage you to do that and do that ASAP and get you a good doctor. Even if you don't have a hormonal doctor, talk to your primary care physician about it and just running these simple tests that'll tell you what you're low in. And then when you find out what you're low in, make it your business to find those supplements and take them. I take supplements daily, every day. I mean, and then maybe that's a whole nother video I'll do and talk to you about the different supplements that I take for myself and my body. And then now when I go back to the doctor, my hormones are completely leveled. Everything. My testosterone, I get testosterone pellets. So look into the pellets. It's the best thing. And I also take my vitamin D3K2. It's important for us. It helps everything else to function. It helps all the other minerals to break down. I didn't realize that it was that important, but it really is. Your B vitamins, your thyroid. I found out I had a nodule on my thyroid that was throwing things out of whack. I don't have hyper or hypothyroidism, but the nodule that's there is causing my thyroid to overact. So the supplement that the doctor gave me is actually helping the thyroid to not get aggravated, so to speak, so that it doesn't throw me off. So those are very important things to do. Get that blood work done, find out what's going on with your body, because if you don't have the energy or the joy that's in you, because you're sad or you're crying or you're emotional, then you're not going to want to go work out. I mean, that's the last thing I thought about. I didn't want to get out of bed. And so get that in place so that you can have the energy. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's bits and pieces. And so then you're going to have the energy to start walking, maybe 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Just walk, ride your bike, do something that requires, your activity. I recently invested in a trampoline. I go out there and I jump. That's something that's very easy. A row machine, it's like my new favorite thing. Like I got a row machine, and it burns so much energy and I get to release a lot of stress. But I'm going to tell you, 2 years ago, I didn't even think about exercise. No way. That was the furthest thing from my mind. So you have to kind of work in those steps in order to be able to get to a place where you want to be physical and you want to do things. And then eventually you're going to start finding your joy. You're going to start finding your joy is coming back. Your peace is there because you're keeping your mind stayed on him. And you know the things that make you happy. And I intentionally chase joy. I look for things to make me happy daily. Even if I'm down, don't wait until you're down to look for ways to get out. Do things daily that are going to invest back into you. So I hope this video was beneficial to you. Please like it, share it. This is going to help somebody, people. It is. I know that I went through all of this to get all of these strategies in place. And I figured it out along the way, the hard way. So I'm sharing with you, and just add these. If you're already doing similar things, add to it. Add to it. If something, one or two of these things you may not have been doing. And then you're wondering why everything isn't connecting. So it helps. It really does help when you understand that these 3 things are critical. Thank you for watching. I hope and pray that you were blessed by this and that you're going to start to experience more peace, more joy, and give it back. Give it back to the world in some way. God bless you. Take care.